Hello everyone, my name is Ethan Smith and this is Module 11, Case Study, AEP 858. Here's the intro. I am a new principal of Golden Oak High School, a diverse school with 965 students and a good amount of extracurricular activities, a lot of sports and a lot of clubs where students don't have to try out. So there's a lot of reasons to be in school. The problem is students have not been attending classes. The attendance rate has been the lowest it has been in a long time. Golden Oak High School used to have the highest attendance rate, but now it has the lowest in the whole school district. My task, the superintendent has tasked me to improve the ever-falling student attendance rate, and my mission is to identify the reasons why students might be missing school and to work together with different stakeholders like the school district, social services, teachers, parents, and the students and the community to get students back into school. Out of all the students who are missing, I pulled 5 students' files from the pile, and one of them is Karen. She is a junior and she has been missing school since she got married. And a big problem here is that records show that she is requesting to speak with the school counselor, but she has not met with the school counselor yet. This is a big problem. She might be having a lot of trouble, and the school counselor and the teachers don't seem to be there for her. They just seem to be allowing her to leave. The next one is Tyrone. He's a sophomore and he's been missing school due to trips with his parents. Now, his parents have been really responsible. They have talked with the teachers and worked with the teachers every step of the way. They have given reasons why the trips are important and also have promised to keep up with Tyrone's schoolwork, his tests, and all his homework. So they're being very responsible with it. The next one is Christina. She is a freshman and she has been missing school due to religious reasons. Now, the parents have not specified what these reasons are and what they are doing, and the teachers, I believe, since it is religious reasons, that they are afraid to ask. So they've just been signing papers and saying, okay, you're excused. Oh, religious reason, you're excused. Religious reasons does not give parents the clairvoyance to excuse their students from classes. We need to figure out where the student is and what's going on. Next is John and Carl, and he has been missing school due to his parents' lack of encouragement to attend. His dad didn't attend high school, and after meeting with the teacher, he's clarified that, and he said he can just join my business, or he doesn't need to join. I don't care. So the parents are not being very supportive, and they're just allowing Carl to skip classes. And we need to convince them and convince Carl to come to school. Next is John, and he's been missing school due to past sports injury and special permission from the athletics director to go home and rest during the afternoon of game days. Now, this is a horrible mistreatment of power and special treatment for a star athlete. I wonder if a student who is not a star athlete would get this kind of treatment, and the answer is absolutely not. So this kind of special treatment will not sit well with stakeholders and with other parents, so we need to cut that right away. I think out of the 5 students, I believe Karen and John are the biggest issues that I need to deal with. So here's the student issues. First is Karen, and depending on the state, marriage at 16 years of age might be illegal. And she wants to speak with a counselor, so there's obviously some emotional or physical trauma that she is going through, so we need to take care of her. And this lack of responsibility that the teachers and the counselor have had is appalling. Next is Tyrone. Now, Tyrone is, I believe, the ethical issue is whether we should be involved, because his parents are really responsible and working with the school. So I don't think the school has any power to control what Tyrone and his parents do. He is an excellent student, and he is very responsible, and so are his parents. Christina, even if parents take their child out to school for religious reasons, they must, like everyone else, go through the proper channels. They need to give reasons, and they need to be excused by me. If they're not for an illness or death in the family or anything like that, they need to be excused, and we need to know where she is. Carl, the family itself is not beyond regulation in the public interest. So we need to worry about the student. Where is he? What's going on? It's our responsibility. He is enrolled in our school, and we need to be responsible and work with child services and make sure that he's okay and doing well. Now, John, this is totally unethical for someone to give special treatment to a person just because they are a star athlete. As unethical, it needs to stop right away, and I need to take the power away from the athletic director of excusing students. That should lie with the teachers and with me. Section 3, one sentence summary. The previous principal was unwilling or incapable to follow procedures for student absence and hold teacher and staff accountable for not following the rules for unethical behavior. That needs to stop. I need to change that. Here are the facts. It is a high school. It's public, suburban, close to the major city. A lot of parents live in the suburban area and then drive maybe an hour or so to the major city and work. It's mostly middle class, some higher, some low. It used to have a high attendance rate, but now it is very low, and 85% of students have missed more than 10 days, and that is unexcusable. 85% is amazing. And one little bit of information that I have is our recent influx of Hispanic and Asian students. The problem, except for each student's grade, demographic data is in short supply. I need to collect more data, demographic data, perception data, figure out where the teachers are, where the parents are, where the students are, and really get down to what's happening in this school. So I need to really collect some data. Here's the review. According to the records of the 5 students, none of them have excused absences for illness, death, or in the immediate family, implicit weather, or valid reason excused by the principal with prior approval. So apparently this is all just special cases that the teachers are just allowing, and the athletic director, who shouldn't have any power, is allowing. According to the superintendent, the district has a good relationship with agencies such as social services and juvenile court. We need to work with them. My main concern would be for the parents and students who are following the rules and the parents and students who are not being given special treatment. We need to get the perception data on them, and I'm sure they are angry that other students are getting special treatment and their student is not. I need to know if other students have been losing points due to an excess of unexcused absences and collect perception data from the community. That's this unethical use of power where some students, just because there's a situation, get special treatment. That's wrong. Section 6, options. Now I could keep the status quo. I could continue what the previous principal did and kind of turn a blind eye and allow teachers most of the power to excuse classes. Or I could go with option 2 and collect more data and enforce the rules. The superintendent has tasked me with raising the attendance rate, and that's what I must do. And reinforcing the 10-point penalty rule and not excusing absences for anything but illness, death in the immediate family, and weather and all that. Also, the coaching staff should not have the power to excuse students from classes. Sports are an extracurricular activity and second to education. That's mostly John. And teachers must keep detailed records and meet with students frequently and with me about the absent students and why they're absent. We need to keep track of these students, like Karen. A lot of teachers have dropped the ball with Karen. Section 7, pros and cons. So option 1, keep the status quo. The pros are, it seems the teachers are happy. There's really low teacher turnover. The parents really haven't complained to the superintendent, or at least according to the superintendent, he hasn't told me that they have complained. And if I keep the status quo, I'm sure that a lot of more students would graduate, and in turn GPA and would go up. The average GPA would go up, and the school would look a little bit better. The cons, without proper perception data, it would be irresponsible to ignore the current high absent rate. Even though teachers are happy according to the records at hand, there seems to be a lot of student neglect and favoritism. And also, what we are teaching the students, if we allow them special treatment, is that when they graduate and in the future, they're going to receive special treatment, and that's not going to happen. The world out there is hard, and we need to teach the students that responsibility and character counts, and they need to be in school learning with their fellow students or suffer the consequences. Option 2, collect more data and enforce the rules. The pros, of course, are more students in the class, more accountability from teachers, and higher we'll know the whereabouts of the students, and also making sure that the certain students don't get special treatment will ensure parents and students that are everyone is being treated fairly. So everyone's being treated fairly, and we can teach students that fair play and rules count. The consequences: there might be some teacher turnover, a lot of pushback from the athletic director and other sports enthusiasts, and I might get a lot of parent complaints. But what, last year my student was excused, but why not this year? So that's more perception data and more things I need to take into account. So the best option, I believe, is to collect more data and enforce the rules. So step one, I would collect more data and work with agencies and social services and collect more data, perception data from the parents, from the teachers, collect that and organize it into a spreadsheet into an organized spreadsheet with numbers, data that I can present to the staff and to the parents. The next is to call a meeting, present this to the staff, to the teachers, have them talk in groups. We work together, we come up with a solution, but ultimately I need to make it. I am the principal, I am in charge, but we need to work together and find middle ground. Step 3 is to reintroduce our attendance policy to parents and ensure them that there will be no special treatment for anyone. My hope is that if parents are informed that absences will be taken more seriously, that they won't complain as much, and they won't be surprised when a student gets minus points because they're absent. Implementation: teachers and parents are my first priority, and we'll be making sure the students' whereabouts are known. That's for Carl. Students must come to school. If they are not, they must have legitimate reason. They must have a legitimate reason outlined in the rules authorized by me. Teachers and counselors must be available 24/7 to work with parents and students, for Carl and Karen. No matter what the case, extracurricular activities are not an excuse to miss classes, and coaching staff are strictly prohibited from allowing students to stay home. Now, teachers need to enforce this as well as I do. When a coach comes to a teacher and says, "Well, I need John to miss this class," the teacher must say, "No, he must be in class. Sports is an extracurricular activity." Outside activities will be considered when parents and teachers discuss a student's absences from school and make up work. Tyrone, I believe we shouldn't touch students like Tyrone, but work with the parents, continue to work with the parents. We need to penalize students for unexcused absences with no exceptions. Students shouldn't be just missing school willy-nilly. They need to be enforced. Here's a special note. The one common denominator between the 5 students is their absence from school is not their fault. The parents themselves have been excusing the students, and parents have been working with the teachers. So they've been working together to get the students out of school, and the students are just following suit. It's not their fault. We must teach our students that life won't excuse them from their responsibilities, and it won't always give them special treatment. However, we are here, and we will support them in any way we can. Me and my fellow teachers will support them. We will be there for them. We will enforce the rules, but if they come to us, we will not push them away. We will accept them. Section 10. My presentation shows a clear understanding of I have analyzed and evaluated all the information at my disposal and have developed a plan to improve the attendance rate at my school. I have worked with outside agencies, teachers, and parents to advocate for the importance of students' attendance and increased accountability from teachers and staff, as well as parents and students. Overall, I believe that my actions won't make all the stakeholders' lives easier, but they will make them better. It's not going to be easy. Coming to school and having to be in school is a burden on teachers, parents to get them to school and make sure they're at school, and students to be there and to work hard. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be better. Here are my references, and that's it. Thank you everyone for listening. I really enjoyed this case study. I hope I got all my points out there, and thank you very much for listening.